What's up, everyone? Back with another video. I want to do a quick video here just to go over some of the build quality with the Mustang Mach-E. I know a lot of people who tend to be anti-Tesla, they'll always throw out the term panel gaps and state quality issues. I think panel gaps is a term that most people didn't even know until recently, but taking a look at the Mustang and see how the build quality looks. Okay, first taking a look up this line here. You can see that's pretty even most of the way up, and as you come down across the back here, you've got a pretty good gap here. Call that about almost an inch. Same on the opposite side. Line that up. You can see that's about the same. It's a big gap in this in these light fixtures here, but that's just the way it's designed. Taking a look at the other one, you can see that line is pretty good. Got a little bit of bulging right here from the seal on the back hatch. And then as you look at this gap down here, it's not too much different. It's about the same as it was on the last one. And same on this side. As you go up here, that seal is overall pretty good. And that line is pretty even. When opening the hatch, see that opens up pretty smooth. I would say it closes a little slow, but very smooth. We'll do the same thing over here. Opens very smooth. Closes smoothly. Looking at some of the lines on the vehicle, you can see as some of this trim lines up. This scratch here came from the factory that way. You can see this is pretty smooth line here, maybe off a touch there in the door itself. Doesn't quite line up perfectly, but just looking at it from a distance, I don't think you'd notice that. Looking at the newer built model, you'll see that that's a little bit better on its lineup. Across this line here, these line up pretty well on that model. And they're just off a little bit on this model. Pretty cold here today, so don't mind the fact that both cars are dirty. But let me get out of the sun here. If you look down the side on the door here, it's a pretty consistent line. And you'll see that on really all of the door lines. Taking a look up the hood, that line is pretty consistent all the way. Going up on the other side, very similar consistency. You'll notice a very similar consistency on the older build model as well. So the tricky part is always where multiple pieces come together. You can see here, it's a pretty good line. Maybe a little thinner down here, but nothing obvious. And where these two pieces connect, off by a touch, but again, not Not to the point where you would visibly see it unless you're looking for it. Same thing in the back here. That top piece hangs over just a touch more. But again, that is not anything you would notice. Check out this line here. And even these pieces here. It's a pretty good, consistent line. Lines up well between the doors. Both sides. Rear quarter panel down to the bumper. Across the back here. Front panel down to the bumper. Let's see what that's all pretty tight, pretty consistent. As far as internal build quality, understand this is still a Ford. This is not a Lincoln. So some of this plastic looks okay, but you can tell it's cheaper. I would have liked to have seen that be a little bit higher end. But as far as its fit and finish, it's nice and quiet in here. You never hear any of these panels rattling when you're driving. You can see that line that goes across the door, lines up with the edge of the soundbar, and keeps coming across straight into this side. It's a pretty good lineup right there. These soft touch materials are very nice. But this glove box is that same inexpensive plastic that's used at the top of the dash. Again, I think for a $50,000 to $70,000 vehicle, they could have done a little bit better with the choice of plastics. But again, it's still a Ford. The buttons are recessed in here pretty nicely. They sit nice. No gap along this line. The little flicker works good. You can just see good thump when it closes. Sitting in the back. Good quality on the oh shit handles. Good alignment here. All through here. Nice plushy soft material. Seat pocket. Air vents. Got your USBs. All that looks really good. Lines up well. It's actually my first time back here. Pretty comfortable back here, actually. Got good headroom. You can see the panels here. Nothing's moving as you give them a press. Sitting in there nice. Good alignment. It's a relatively compact SUV. I would have liked to have seen some electric buttons to drop the back seats, but you drop them with this here. Falls down. I've got the floor set to the lower position so you don't have a flat back when you lay the seats down, but if you lift the mat up to here, you'll be okay. A little bit of a scratch here. That might have been me, who knows. But all of this carpeting, you know, it's hollow in there, but everything feels sturdy. Sits in there real nice. Under storage is fairly non-existent. You can put a little bit of things in there. I keep my charging cables there. The one thing that's absolute garbage is the cover. I call it the cargo kite. It's a very thin piece of material. Again, they did this to keep it light. But really, if you've got your windows open, your trip will usually end like this, and that thing's flapping around in the back. Again, pardon the mess. This is the older vehicle, the one with the 7,400 miles on it. This piece is it's not cut very well. It's not great for fitting a large phone here. There are some aftermarket stuff you can get there. I might pick those up, do a video on these. This piano black stuff I could do without. Gets real fingerprinty. You see like a little bit of stains there. That stuff that really shows up easily. The other little complaint I have, you can see around the charging door, gets thin at the bottom, thin on this side, thicker at the tops. Not so much that. Come on. See? This thing is... That one got icy, kind of froze. Granted, my car's been sitting for a few days in sub 20 degree weather for the past couple days, but that was just frozen. And then when you go to close them, it doesn't always close on the first try. Second, third, you might get it on the fifth. There we go. I don't agree with people going through automatic car washes unless they're the touchless kind with any vehicle, but I've heard of these doors, this panel, the body color piece, actually disconnecting from the little clips that hold it onto this door. They're probably going to be hard to pick up on camera. This hinge is kind of garbage too. There have been instances of people bonking it, and feels like it could easily break, but people are getting denting in their panel here. There is a 3D printed part you can add here from some people on the forums and in the groups. They'll sell you a piece to stop it from being able to go and actually hit the vehicle.